Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. This is Dr. Tracey McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator. As promised last week when we covered conduct disorder, we are coming back this week to talk about psychopathy and conduct disorder again, but this time we're going to focus on emotional warning signs. And the emotional warning signs are also known as limited prosocial emotions. And there are four specifiers with conduct disorder that we're going to cover that will give you a better picture of what might be going on with a child with conduct disorder or psychopathy. So these are things to look out for. And if you see them, they're very serious. Okay, so let's dig into this. All right, now to qualify for a child to qualify for one of these specifiers, they have to have displayed at least two of the following characteristics that I'm going to talk with you about persistently over a 12-month period in multiple relationships and settings. So it could be in the school context, it could be in the home, it could be in their peer relationships. And what we're looking to see is we're looking at the extent to which the characteristics reflect the child's pattern of interpersonal and emotional functioning over this time period that we're talking about. So we're not talking about just occasional things that might just happen. We're talking about something that's chronic, that's going on over an extended period of time. So a child also might show, several of these characteristics, several of these emotional warning signs, not just the two that we're talking about. And you want to get information when you're trying to figure this out. You want to get information from parents, teachers. If it's an adult, you want to get information from coworkers, extended family members, church members, their peers, boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, clergy. So you want to get as much information as possible to get a well-rounded picture of what might be going on with this individual. And so it'll look different if you're talking about a child or an adolescent versus an adult who has an unresolved conduct disorder. And so the most important thing that we look for in terms of these emotional warning signs is lack of remorse or guilt. And what we're saying here is that this child or this adolescent, this person, basically they do not feel bad or guilty when they do something wrong, and they know that they've done something wrong. And we're not talking about, sometimes a person can apologize or act remorseful when they might get into trouble. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, are they remorseful? Are they feeling guilty? Are they accepting responsibility in general? And so when a child has conduct disorder or they're psychopathic, lack of remorse or guilt is a big issue. And so when children have this dynamic going on, they have basically a general lack of concern about the negative consequences of their actions. They don't care what happens to anyone else growing out of what they've done. They simply do not care. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care about the bad things that might happen. So if they hurt someone, they don't care about hurting someone. They don't care about the consequences of breaking rules or laws. They simply don't care. They don't feel bad about it. They don't feel guilty about it. They don't regret it. None of that is there. And so that's one of the things we're looking for when we're looking to see if there's a lack of remorse or guilt. Another one that goes hand in hand with this often is, are they callous? Are these children, are these adolescents, are these adults callous? Do they lack empathy? So not only are they lacking in remorse or guilt, but also we're looking to see if they lack empathy, lack compassion. Do they have a total disregard and lack of concern for the feelings of other people? Do they feel that disconnect where they can't even connect on a compassionate level with other people? And usually when you see this, the child or the adolescent will be cold and uncaring. You will be able to pick up on the child appearing unfeeling. They might have a blank stare, if you're talking to them, just not caring, not concerned whatsoever. They do not really have any thought about the effects of their actions except for how it impacts them. They're not concerned about how their behavior impacts someone else, particularly when it's going to result in substantial harm to someone else. They just really do not care. They only care really about what's going to happen to them as a result of this dynamic. And so another thing that we look for is when the child, the adolescent, or the adult has just a lack of concern about performance. They don't care about poor performance at school. They don't care about not living up to their obligations or expectations or their competence in the workplace. They do not put forth the effort to perform well. They're just not going to do it. And so that's one of the things we're looking for. And often what the person will do is they will blame someone else for their poor performance. There will be a justification, but it will be someone else being used as the justification to explain why they didn't do whatever it is that they were supposed to do, whether you're talking about a work assignment, a classroom assignment, doing chores at home. They simply don't care. A fourth emotional warning sign that we look for is they do not express feelings or emotions. It's just really shallow. It's just absent. It's deficient affect. It's not there. So they don't show feelings. They don't show emotions to other people, except when it's really shallow, and it's generally insincere and it's superficial. And sometimes what you'll see is they will say things that might suggest that they get it emotionally, but the emotion that they're expressing and the words that they're saying, they don't go together. And these children, when they're having this particular warning sign, they can also turn these emotions, if you will, on or off just at the drop of a hat. They can do it very, very quickly. Now, if they're trying to manipulate someone, they might show these emotions a little bit more consistently. But then again, it's still shallow, and it's not sincere, and it's not long lasting. And so those are the 4 emotional warning signs that we look for when we're addressing the issue of psychopathy and conduct disorder in children and adolescents and even adults. I hope this information was helpful. We welcome any of your comments or questions in the comments section. Remember, knowledge is power. See you soon.